Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, total world victory. Hare Krishna. Actually, let me grab the mantra banner. Let's pop this back here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Bhagavad-gita As It Is, Chapter 3, text number 37. My name is Sitapati Das. Let's go. śrī-bhagavān uvāca kāma eṣaḥ krodha eṣaḥ rajo-guṇa-samudbhavaḥ mahā-śano mahā-pāpmā viddhi iha vairiṇam. śrī-bhagavān uvāca, the Personality of Godhead said, kāmaḥ, lust, eṣaḥ, all these, krodhaḥ, wrath, eṣaḥ, all these, rajo-guṇa, the mode of passion, samudbhavaḥ, born of, mahā-śanaḥ, all-devouring, mahā-pāpmā, greatly sinful, viddhi, no, enam, this, iha, in the material world, vairiṇam, greatest enemy. Translation: the Blessed Lord said, "It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material modes of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world." So this is the response by Kṛṣṇa to Arjuna's question, by what is one impelled to sinful action even though unwilling, as if by force? The Blessed Lord said, "It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material modes of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of the world." Let's have a look at the change. So it's gone from the Blessed Lord to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from material modes of passion to material mode of passion. The change obviously makes sense because the original manuscript is missing. Because it's not the material modes of passion, it's obviously meant to be the material mode of passion. Unless, of course, Srila Prabhupada's original manuscript had modes of passion, but I've never seen it anywhere else like that. And the Blessed Lord has been switched out for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into that. You can look that up. Purport. Here we go. By His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. When a living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Kṛṣṇa is transformed into lust in association with the mode of passion. Or in other words, the sense of love of God becomes transformed into lust as milk in contact with sour tamarind is transformed into yogurt. Then again, when lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wrath. Wrath is transformed into illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity, and it is lust only which induces the pure living entity to remain entangled in the material world. Wrath is the manifestation of the mode of ignorance. These modes exhibit themselves as wrath and other corollaries. If, therefore, the modes of passion, instead of being degraded into the modes of ignorance, are elevated to the modes of goodness by the prescribed method of living and acting, then one can be saved from the degradation of wrath by spiritual attachment. Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded himself into many for his ever-increasing spiritual bliss. And the living entities are parts and parcels of the spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence, but by misuse of their independence, when the service attitude is transformed into the propensity for sense enjoyment, they come under the sway of lust. This material creation is created by the Lord to give a facility to the conditioned souls to fulfill these lustful propensities And when they are completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, the living entities begin to inquire about their real position. This inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta Sutras, wherein it is said, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. One should inquire into the Supreme. And the Supreme is defined in śrī-bhagavān as Janmad Yasya Yaton Vayad Itaritar Janmad Yasya Yaton Vayad Itaritar Cha. Or the origin of everything is the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, the origin of lust is also in the Supreme. Therefore, lust is transformed into love for the Supreme, or transformed into Kṛṣṇa consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for Kṛṣṇa, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. Hanuman, the great servitor of Lord Rama, engaged his wrath upon his enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. Therefore, lust and wrath, when they are employed in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, become our friends instead of our enemies. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I'm going to say that in the changes to the second edition, they would have changed modes of passion. Instead of going to the modes of ignorance, go to the modes of goodness. Yep, modes has been changed to mode. To give facility. Interesting. Yeah, I read it in the second edition. And when completely baffled by it, when they are Janmadya Asya Yaton Bayari Taritascha. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I remembered also this here because I was like, hang on a second, did it mention Hanuman? And then it did, but yeah. So this got dropped in, which probably got, let's have a look at the annotated version here. Original manuscript. Yeah. Okay, so this is, yeah, skipped over this entire, the typist skipped over this entire part. That got chopped out. That is a good insertion. That's epic. Nectar. That's the kind of good stuff that should have gone in there in a spirit of service. A lot of these other changes, though, are... Oh, come on. Re-editing. This one here, maybe. This is actually the kind of thing that I think should have been done in the second edition. Or in a second edition. Not what they call the second edition. Properly footnoted. Or nothing. One of those two. But not this whole thing that we got. Okay, let's comment on the verse itself. Srila Prabhupada's original manuscript is missing this part. So the word here that's Srila Prabhupada has translated as lust is kāma. Sense gratification, desire, material desire, sex life. Let's have a look at the meaning of the word lust. And we'll use the Oxford Dictionary definition. A very strong sexual desire, especially when love is not involved. A very strong desire for something or pleasure in something. Yeah, strong desire. Which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport, he makes a couple of points here. The first point is this transformation of love into lust. Bhakti Tirtha Swami wrote a book, Transforming Lust into Love. As milk in contact with sour tamarind is transferred into yogurt, and then when lust is unsatisfied, it turns to wrath. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangateshu bhajayate. Sangat sanjayate kāma kāmat krodha vijayate. Krodha. From kāma comes krodha. Lust turns into wrath or anger, and that's the degeneration of the mode of passion into the mode of ignorance. This is nectar, this part here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded himself into many for his ever-increasing spiritual bliss. I think that might be from the Taittiriya Upanishad. And then the Vedanta Sutra is quoted in here. Tato Brahma Jigyas Janmadyasya Yata. That's the Vedanta Sutra 112. 111 and 112. And that's Bhagavatam 111. It begins from the second sutra of the Vedanta Sutra. Janmadyasya yaton vayari tarita charteshva vigyas. And then Hanuman, and this is it got missed out, but you could, it's pretty cool. Hanuman, the great servitor of Lord Ram, exhibited his wrath by burning the golden city of Ravana. By doing so, he became the greatest devotee of the Lord. Here also in Bhagavad-gita, the Lord induces Arjuna to engage his wrath upon his enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. That's a great, this is explaining how wrath can be used in the Lord's service. So the origin of lust is also in the Supreme, so everything is there. Ultimately, there is nothing that is not spiritual. Both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. And then later in Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa will actually say, kāmosmi. I am kāma. I am desire. I am Cupid. Let's see if we can find it in here. Kāmosmi. Dhamma viruddho bhuteshu kāmosmi. I am sex life that is not contrary to religious principles. Think about the sneeze, so I'm going to mute it if that happens. Okay, let's do the translation. Gita to Māori. Te reo Māori, 337. The Blessed Lord said, so it's using edition 1 this time. Okay, so we got a translation into Te reo Māori. So I'm going to grab that translation. It must be programmed to make it look like it's typing, because it's like going pretty slow. But I'm pretty sure it generated this whole thing. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so let's go here. I'm going to translate from Te reo Māori into English. The Lord of Compassion replied, that arises, O Arjuna, from contact with the cultural tendencies of desire, which later turns into anger, and is a sinful enemy that consumes the whole world. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The cultural tendencies of desire. Okay, and then let's turn it into a nursery rhyme. Oh. Now it gives the... Let's get the English translation of that. Ooh. Nice. although this is dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangat teshu bhajayate, sangat sanjayate kāma, kāmat krodha vijayate. It's mashed together, those two verses. Let's go with this first one here with the word for word that we have. Because our goal here is to inhabit the worldview created in the language of Te Reo Māori, as well as learn the language through Bhagavad-gita. Ike atu te ariki manawawa, ko te kainga anake tēnā, e Arjuna, ka puta mai I te whakapā ki ngā aronga ahurea o te hiahia. A muri ake ka huri hei riri a he hoariri hara e kai ana I te ao katoa. I did ki atu, said te ariki manawawa, the blessed Lord. Ko te kainga, it was the lust. Ko te kainga anake, it was only the lust. Tēnā, that. E Arjuna ka puta mai I te whakapā ki ngā aronga. Aronga. Ahurea. O te hiahia. Hiahia, desire. Kainga, lust. Anake, tēnā e Arjuna ka puta mai I te whakapā ki ngā aronga ahurea. O te hiahia a muri ake ka huri hei riri a he hoariri, enemy, hara, sinful, e kai ana, which devouring or consuming I te ao katoa, in the whole world. Hara, sinful, hoariri, enemy. Now let's have a look back at this poem that it wrote. Ko te kainga, desire, tēnā e Arjuna e. I te whakapā hiahia, desire. So kainga and hiahia. Kainga means lust and hiahia, desire. Okay. Ka huririri ka takatu te pō, the enemy. Hoariri, hara, sinful. Kai ana, continuous tense marker, te ao. But what is whakapā? I te and I, what means I? Let's have a look. In. I te ao. I ao. 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 World. I te ao katoa, in the whole world. I te ao katoa, in the whole world. And whakapā means contact. Whakapā, contact. Whaka is causative, and then pā, not sure, but that means contact. Okay, there you go. There's your daily dose of Te Reo Māori. Let's go back to the Sanskrit to end. Okay. śrī-bhagavān uvāca kāma eṣaḥ krodha eṣaḥ rajo-guṇa-samudbhavaḥ mahā-śano mahā-pāpmā viddhi enam vairiṇam. Param vijayate Sri Kṛṣṇa Sankirtanam, total world victory of Hare Kṛṣṇa.